It's that time of year again, prom season. You know what that means. Neighbors, nieces, coworkers will come out of hiding and ask you to put down your quilting and take up hemming gowns. As you know, each genre of sewing has its own techniques. I'll show you step by step what to do in order to hem a gown. A word of caution, please don't take risks. At any time, if you feel it's too complex, just take it to a pro. The good news is you won't have to figure this out alone. I've got it all mapped out for you. Let's start with pinning. For the length to be right, you have to pin correctly. Make sure that your wearer has the exact shoes that she plans to wear. Have her stand up straight with feet 4 inches apart. This is crucial. Make sure she looks straight ahead and does not look down while you pin. Different sewists have different pinning systems, but I like to mark the floor with the pin. So I'm putting the pin right where the skirt first touches the floor. And then when I cut, I like to always cut my hem 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch longer than the pin. And don't get overwhelmed. I'm getting ready to show you a little more in detail with a diagram. When you pin, make sure to put one every 6 to 10 inches across the front of the hem. Some people have an uneven stance. Lay the gown on its side into what we call a mirror fold and see if the pins are even from one side to the next. I do have a professional cutting table, but I wanted to show you that cutting on a clean floor is just fine and lots of sewists do it. If the pins are even, then you get to do a mirror cut, which really saves time. I'll sketch how we would cut that. You want to lay the dress on its side, align the side seams, and make sure the fabric is laid perfectly mirrored across. I just marked where the pins would be. Now I am marking where I would cut, which would be approximately 1 inch below the pins. Now, what if you feel these safety pins and they don't align? That's okay. Here's an easy way to cut that accurately. So you would lay the dress on its back so that the front is facing you. Spread out the hem where you can see the pins going across. I would do the same thing, cut about 1 inch below the pins so that we have what we call hem allowance. That's plenty of fabric so that we can put the hem edge on it. Here I'm drawing where the pins would be. And you're going to make sure that those pins are your guide for where you cut across. This is why we wanted pins every 6 to 10 inches. There is a saying in the sewing world, trust your pins. If you really took your time in the pinning stage, you can trust them. Now I've shown you how we would pin and cut if we were only hemming in the front of the gown, but what if we want to hem 360 or all the way around? Well, you would do the same pinning process all the way around, making sure that the wearer is looking straight ahead the whole time. Now I want you to take a note. We do like a little bit of a sweep on that hem length. So to get that flattering tip, we're going to cut the hem 1.5 inches to 2 inches below the pins in the back and 1 inch below the pins in the front. Leaving lots of hem allowance is super critical, and that's actually the most common mistake that people make is they accidentally cut the dress to the length of the floor instead of the floor length plus hem allowance. Make sure you hit subscribe because next week I'll be sharing with you tips to make a thrifted prom dress look more expensive. Now this is where we get to the choose your own adventure portion of this video. Obviously, formal wear has so many different types of hems, and I can't teach you all of those hems within this one video. But I can give you the resources that will help you. So what I'm going to do is in the video description of this video, I'm going to put a link to some of the playlists that show you how to put these different hem finishes on the gown. Now, I have been teaching for many years, so I know the next question is, well, what if I don't know the name of the hem, so I can't look up the hem? And to that, I will say, I got you. Also, in the video description, I'll put a link to a free download of my formal wear hems identification guide. It is a full color illustrated guide. With that, you should be able to spot your hem type and look up tutorials on how to finish that hem style. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'm super active in the comments. Here's more hem videos now. Have a safe and happy prom.